Hello everyone, today I will be talking about Aptera and the chances of them building a non-solar hatch and what that might look like if they do make it. After I recorded the majority of this video and before I got it edited, there was another video that added new information, so I'll go over that at the end of the video. The concept of the video remains the same, just a little bit of added information. I will be talking about only a few pieces of information that came from Aptera, but mostly talking about my opinions and how I perceive the market and how I think this will affect the choices Aptera might make in the future. My speculation in this video could end up being flat out wrong, but this is what I believe to be the case. As you know, Aptera has chosen the full solar package for the launch edition. Let's listen into a clip of Chris Anthony from an interview that he did with the Drive the Lightning YouTube channel.
But a lot of the vehicle configuration for the launch edition was really feedback from all of our people who had deposits on the vehicle. So we knew what the most popular color was and what the most popular interior was, and we could kind of run with those numbers. We knew that the vast majority, like 80% of people, had the full solar package.
Did you hear that? Like 80% of people had the full solar package. That's out of the 4 options given. You had the base model, which had solar on the roof and the dash, the $300 option that added the hood, the $600 option that had the base plus the hatch and not the hood, and then the full solar package. I highly doubt any substantial number of people chose the solar hatch without getting it on the hood. I would be surprised if this was more than like 1%. I'll get into why I think this later. If you take out 80% for the full solar option, this leaves 20% remaining for the base option and base plus the hood. With that, let's get into the pros and cons of ordering the full solar package. Before knowing anything about a launch edition or that ordering the full solar package would help you get your Aptera earlier, I can only think of one advantage of getting the full solar package, and it couldn't be more obvious. The more solar you have, the more charge you will get from solar charging. On the other hand, there's at least 2 disadvantages I see as being a reason people may have chosen not to get the full solar. First of all, you had the one that was written on the buttons that you had to click on to choose your solar option. Yes, price. And at $300 for the hood and $600 for the hatch, put together $900 in total, I don't see this as a huge reason people wouldn't have gotten the full solar package. If you look at the total purchase price of the vehicle and the added functionality that comes with the full solar, I don't think it would have swayed most people that were reserving an Aptera. Of the people opting for less than the full solar package, the reason I think most of them would have done so was the lack of the rear window if you went with the full solar package. Not having a rear window would restrict some light into the cargo area, and more importantly, would have removed traditional visibility out the back of the hatch. I think a fair number of people would have been far more comfortable buying a vehicle with a rear window. And this is the reason I don't think many people would have opted for the solar hatch without the solar hood. At this point, you may wonder why a video claiming to speculate on Aptera's solar hatch in the future would spend so much time understanding the reservation options of people. To figure this out, let's take a look at a render of the launch edition. On the bottom side of the hood, you see a part that is produced by CPC. Jason Hill made it quite clear in a recent interview he did with Aptera Owners Club that this bottom piece of the hood is all that is necessary for the rigidity and structure of the hatch. However, if you replace the solar panel on the hatch with a piece of glass, you still have the structural part of the hatch that won't let you see through. This means this CPC produced part would need a radical redesign. This would take a fair bit of engineering and all the expenses that come with that, as well as new stainless steel blocks and all the tooling to make this part. Based on the pre-orders, they could go a long time without needing to do this, and would gain at most 20% minus the number of people not willing to switch over to the launch edition. I was thinking about this concept, and then a video came out that changed the calculus. The video I'm talking about is the Aptera design to production video posted on the Aptera Motors YouTube channel. Before I was able to look at this video in depth and see all the graphics and such, I watched a video by Aptera Owners Club that added light into this situation. This video and the other ones I referenced will be linked down below if you want to take a look. The video showed a graphic for a very short period of time that had the different options for the Aptera. And under the liftgate option, they showed the solar liftgate and a composite liftgate option. This makes it seem like they're thinking about putting a composite cover with no window on top of the current part produced by CPC. If Aptera releases a non-solar hatch with no window, they are looking at roughly 20% of customers minus the number of customers that only got the non-solar hatch because it had a window, and minus the customers that moved to the solar hatch in order to get their Aptera early. Now let's talk about the video I referenced at the beginning of this video. It was the final part of the interview between Jason Hill and Aptera Owners Club. Jason Hill said, quote, "full solar all the way." Not sure exactly what he means by this. He could be meaning that they have no plans of changing from full solar at any point, or he could be meaning in the near future there's no plans of a non-full solar vehicle. He also confirmed that a redesign of the hatch would be necessary if they would want a window on the back, which seemed pretty obvious already. He also stated, quote, "the percent of non-solar hatches makes the decision for us," unquote. To some extent, this information is only a confirmation of the obvious. However, it does seem like it would have made sense to mention a composite hatch if there are plans to make that at some point, but that doesn't mean we can rule it out. So then, what was that chart that showed up for a second or two? It might be best not to read into that chart for several reasons. First, it probably wasn't that important based on the short period of time it was on the screen. It may also have been a pretty old chart and ideas that they were throwing around longer ago. The spot for a composite hatch may only be a reminder to leave room on the production floor if they would want to add a second hatch design. It has been discussed that this chart has some errors, especially that of the sizes of the batteries. This may mean that the chart is actually not that important. At this point, it seems likely that they will continue building the solar hatch only for quite a bit of time, and may not even know what they're going to do for future hatch designs. Because of this, if you are holding back on the launch edition because of the lack of rear window, it might be best for you to either switch to the launch edition because the rear window is probably not coming soon, or at least not get your hopes up for a future rear window. Let me know in the comments, in what way do you think I am wrong about the demand for a non-solar hatch? If you reserved a non-solar hatch, I would love to hear your thought process, and make sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this.